Back to just what's happening in your lives at the moment. eNCA taking a shot left across the country. Our reporter Justin Ford is on the Garden route, and the COVID-19 hotspot is under strict lockdown at the moment. Strict regulations. Their beaches have been closed from today until the 3rd of January next year. So what else can one do in the area if you've already booked and paid? Let's chat to Justin about that. Justin, good morning. So I suppose a lot of people might not want to head there now, but for those who are going to chance it, what can they do? There are no beaches and going out might be a risk. So what have you found to do there?
Good morning, Iveka, and yes, I am feeling rather chirpy this morning as we try and get all our ducks in a row along our road trip. I think it's time to stop trying to be punny. We are on the Garden route. We are at Birds of Eden, where we get to see and just experience one of the highlights in the particular region. We've got some scarlet ibis behind us, otherwise known as hadidas, if you don't mind me saying. So these are just a short example of what is to offer. We had a look at monkey land this morning. Unfortunately, the monkeys are a bit camera shy, so they've decided to hide away. We saw a few of them, but monkey land as well as Birds of Eden, a big tourist attraction in this particular region, heading off to the Titikama region later, but joined by Favor, who is the social media manager at SASSA. Favor, thank you very much for having us, for showing us the time around here. What is so special about this particular institution and tourist attraction, and what is your message to the tourists, notably scared to enter the Garden route based on it being declared a hotspot? But what is your message to them to say, you know what, please come and join us?
At this time, what you need most is wide open spaces and a lot of fresh air, and we have that in spades. At Monkeyland, Birds of Eden and Jukani Wildlife Sanctuary, all part of SASSA, we have ample space to make sure that visitors can maintain social distancing at all time. At Birds of Eden Jukani, you walk on your own. As you can see, there is really, honestly, enough space for the animals and for the people. SASSA has always made sure that our animals are at the foreground of what we do and that they have ample space. And in doing so, we inadvertently made sure that there's more than enough space for everybody to enjoy all our sanctuaries without the fear of running into too many other visitors. So if you want to do social distancing, you want to get the kids out and about, and you want to have an experience that actually means something to you and the people you take with you, come and visit us here. It's a beautiful region. It's not a beach, but it's pretty cool.
Fantastic. I like the fact that you mentioned that it's not a beach. Surely people that have booked, that were looking forward to the beach and unfortunately cannot go to the beach, this is definitely a tourist attraction for them to come to. Those that are coming, there are certain protocols that need to be put in place. Masks need to be worn all the time, sanitized and screened along the way. Is that something that you find your guests are okay with doing? Are you having to repeatedly ask them to put on masks as they are walking through the parks and so forth?
We do find that the majority of our guests have absolutely no problem with the screening process and with our needing to require them to wear masks. I always remind people it is not our rule or regulation. It is what's given to us to make sure that we are open. Once you explain that to the people and say, this is so that we can maintain what we're doing and we can continue to feed our animals, that is why we're requiring you to do the screening and to wear a mask. The minute they hear that, they fully understand and they comply. Yes, I'm sure like everybody else, we've had a client here or there that just wasn't happy about it. But once we can explain the situation to them, they all seem to want what's best for the animals. And that is at this moment to wear their masks and comply with our screening.
Favor, thank you very much. I think it's time for us to fly on out of here. Our next stop will be the Storms River Valley, just outside Titikama, just to highlight their ongoings at the moment, what they are looking forward to having, or at least their highlights, people to come and visit them, Uveka, so that we can then continue our way on our family road trip, nostalgic road trip, all the way to the Eastern Cape.
Fantastic. Well, just take care there, Justin Ford. Thanks so much along the Garden route there. Well, time for me to say